So I am bilingual. I'm sure Mr. Alberti is as well. You just have to know where each accent can be used. So I thank you, Mr. Chairman. And just to follow up on the senator from Ohio, yeah, I'm an expert on auto safety. When I was 5 years old, my father was a truck driver, but I grew up in a deregulated era. At 5, I was chasing 9-year-old Charlie Cadero and Bobby Olson 2 streets away from my house when I got hit by a car. And I was turned into a projectile, and you can still see where my fingers never quite came back together again. The concussion in the middle of the street. Somebody picked me up, drove me 100 miles an hour up to the emergency room of the Malden Hospital. There's 2 things your mother always says when you're a kid. 1, if you're ever in an accident, your phone number is MA40815. Tell the doctors that. And 2, change your underwear every day, because I'll be embarrassed if you're ever in an accident. So I can hear the doctor on the phone with my mother getting permission to operate, and I also can hear the nurses starting to unbuckle my belt, and I'm trying with my broken fingers to hold on to it, and then the chloroform going on my face. I'm an expert on auto safety, on the impacts on children, on parents. I'm an expert on that, to the gentleman from Ohio, in Malden, Massachusetts, a blue-collar community. I can take him there so we can see this still existing blue-collar community where I live. Now, if there was an emergency braking system, maybe that guy who hit me, the car would have stopped, and I wouldn't have been hit. Maybe. But to say that it won't help in the future is just absolutely wrong. And the same way seatbelts, which didn't exist when I was a kid. Airbags didn't exist. Make children safer in cars. To this gentleman from Ohio. Okay. Technology is our friend. We are technological giants in the United States. And we can use technology to protect children in our country. And the same thing is true for the auto industry in general. They impose a tax on our society. The tax when they fight higher fuel economy standards is more pollution that goes in the air. The tax on our society, more asthmas, more cancers, more disease that affects everyone in our society. And that's a very high tax. When they fight against safety standards, there is a tax. And that taxes children who get injured or die because the safety measures weren't built in. That's a tax which the auto industry imposes on our society. So, Mr. Morrison, do you agree that fuel economy standards save drivers money at the gas pump because they're so much more efficient?
I think fuel economy standards as a increase in efficiency will have a impact of the gas pump, but they also have a very severe upfront cost that also has to be factored.
Over the life of the vehicle, do they save drivers money at the pump, Mr. Morrison?
I think it would depend upon the fuel economy standard, it would depend upon the technological cost to implement those standards.
Yeah, and here's what I'm hearing from you. I'm hearing that this administration is going to institute yet another tax on drivers by pushing gas guzzling cars onto the American public. And anyone who can't admit that this means dollars out of drivers' pockets and into big oil's profits is just an apologist for the economic, factual basis for understanding what the life expectancy costs are for driving vehicles that are more efficient. It's just, as my mother used to say to me as a boy, you have to learn how to work smarter, not harder, Eddie. And smarter is efficient. Smarter is more efficient appliances, vehicles, buildings, air conditioning. It's just smarter, and it's technology. And what I see historically at NHTSA is just aligning with the industry that seeks to stop innovation, stop progress, and continue to impose taxes on the American people. Safety tax, safety taxes, disease taxes on those families, okay? And so that's why I'm going to be watching you, Mr. Morrison, and everything that you do over there, because you, sir, have a very high responsibility in our society, very high, to all those millions of kids, all those little 5-year-old Eddie Markeys today out there, in terms of looking ahead and leading the way and putting the protections in place for them, not listening to the auto lobbyists of today, but listening to the voices of those children of the future. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.